show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Man, are you liking the markets right now? OMG, it is looking real good. So we're going to talk about that and get into the good feels. The green energy, as Hog would say, the green energy is looking fantastic. So we're going to have fun today for sure. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe on the way in. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, and also hit the follow button on X as well. So that would be a lot of fun for us. And let's go. So we're going to cover the stock market. We're going to cover crypto. Going to cover Pulse Chain, of course, all the majors, and everything is super bullish, hyper bullish, guys. And obviously the blockade has begun. Iran wants to make a deal, and it's essentially neutral from a crypto point of view, and in fact, pulling bias to the upside. And so we're getting crypto really starting to rally off the back of this. So great stuff there. Fantastic. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? And get started for sure. Let's start off with the stock market and see how that's going overnight. So we've got big updates for strategy and Bitmine immersion. And of course, is Bitmine buying all the Bitcoin along with the ETFs? And is Bitmine immersion just hit over 4% Ethereum supply? So it's all on the up and up, guys. All on the up and up. All right, so Wall Street futures steady after S&P 500 jumps 1%. Bank earnings are ahead as well. So we got the Dow Jones was up 0.63% last night, 300 points, guys, to 48,250. Remember, that has a lot of the industrials in it. And if we have a look at the last 6 month mini chart here, you can see we peaked out over 50,300. We're now at 48,200. So we're about 2,000 points behind the all-time high, and we dipped all the way down to 45,400. So that's a huge amount there, about 4,800 points down, and we recovered a good amount of that now, so almost 60%. So going pretty well there. S&P 500 up 1%, 70 points to 6,886. And you can see over the last 6 months, we are climbing back up viciously towards the peak that we had, which was close to 7,000. We're pretty close to that as well. You can see that we came all the way down 6,343. So a massive re-rate there of about 540 points. So just a fantastic start. NASDAQ there up 1.2%, 280 points to 23,183. You can see we're viciously climbing back up there, violently climbing back up. I'm going to use all these words. We're climbing back up there. But we were up at 23,800, and we're at 23,183. So only about, 700 points to go. And we went all the way down to 20,000, can you believe it, 900. So back up we go, and that's exciting time. So stock market doing real well. We've got the VIX there below 20. Remember the VIX? The VIX was during the Iranian conflict was pumping over 30 several times. Back down below 20. Be nice to get it down towards 15. Wouldn't that be great? And of course we've got the dollar there as well, just down very slightly today at 98.17. Pretty much been around there for a little while. And we can see on the index there we got elevated over 100, but not too high. Remember, it was 108 when Trump came into power on the 20th of January last year. And here we are down at 98 when we've been as low as 96. So US dollar there still looking okay. Commodities, West Texas coming down. The oil's coming down. We're down 2%, $1.90 to $97. So we're back below 100. We're sitting around 105, remember. Brent oil also down a little bit there as well, 16 cents to $97.89. And, of course, if we get a resolution here with this deal and the oil flows through the strait, then it's pretty much that's all going down back down to $65 or something. So look for a $30 fall there. Gold is up slightly, $20, up 0.5% to $4,800 almost. Silver up a 30%, 27 cents to almost $76. So they're getting a little jump as well. So the commodities are enjoying a bit of a jump along with crypto, which we're going to see as well. So we're kind of moving together at the moment a little bit. And that's pretty exciting news. So let's get into a little bit of the news there. So Wall Street raises Iran war losses despite failed weekend talks. Now, there is some hope there. We're going to talk about that with the talks. after Trump's stockade or blockade, I should say. So that's kind of looking good. President Donald Trump said that Iran was seeking to make a deal, but reiterated that Washington would not agree to any arrangement that allows Tehran, I should say, to possess a nuclear weapon. Now, Tehran came back trying to offer, a 5-year non-enrichment program. And obviously Trump's gone back apparently with a 20 years, 20 years, not enriching, because these guys would go from 60 to 89% to nuclear material rather than just for a nuclear plant. Now, remember that Iran has the option of, like any other country, of importing enriched fuel at 60%. And they could do that, but they don't. They want to enrich themselves because they want to make nuclear bombs, right? And that's already been said by the foreign minister as well. And so they've made some botch ups there under pressure, right? Under pressure there. So we've got US President. Yeah, so this came after Trump announced that US military had begun a blockade. In response, Tehran warned it could retaliate against ports in neighboring Gulf countries. Whilst headlines are often little reason for optimism, markets seem to take more of a wait and see approach. But remember, when you've got a blockade, you're cutting down the money. So some people, liberal commentators are saying, "Oh, this could take months to take effect," but actually, in reality, it would take probably about 2 weeks, right? So 2 weeks there, and so it wouldn't take too long. Remember, so much of stuff's been destroyed, etc. So, and yeah, they might have a bit of savings, but that's going to get run out pretty quickly. Soldiers like to get paid, etc., etc. It all just falls apart very quickly on the old money front. These results follow a mixed earnings report from Goldman Sachs, where weaker trading revenue weighed on overall performance. All prices, of course, also remain in focus there. So let's jump over to the big announcement here from Stock Talk. They said Vice President J.D. Vance says we made significant progress in talks with Iran. Post the talks, ball is now in Tehran's court. We expect they will move towards opening the Strait of Hormuz there as well. So you got a lot of pressure coming down. And of course, all the Middle Eastern states there are very happy with Trump's moves. They want to they want to deal with Iran once and for all, and they know that it's a little tough to do it, but it's all in their favor. So it's all in support there to get Tehran there. Remember, they were radical ayatollahs, and of course with an apocalyptic view of the world, right? So world domination, etc., all that bad stuff, and willing to throw a few nukes around to add that in. All right, so that is where we are right now. So pretty positive talk there. Looking at crypto, let's see where we are. But crypto take the big move, and that was pretty exciting. I'm sure many of you enjoyed it, and I'd like to see your portfolios recovering a bit. So we're up 4% today, 2.6 trillion total market cap. So we'll take that. In terms of Bitcoin, up 4.5%. Can you believe it? To $74,400. Woohoo! Remember, our recent high was 76K, so we're climbing back up there. But Ethereum really making the power move there as well, up 7.6%. And we're at 2,370, so really pushing through some serious territory there for Ethereum. XRP right now up 2.6%, $1.37. BNB at number 5 up 2.9%, $614. Solana up 4.4% at $85.95. Tron is flat at 32 cents. And then number 10 is Doge, up 2.4% at 9.3 cents. Those are our top 10. Best performers are Ethereum up 7.6%. And we're going to look at also some of the fundamental characteristics also pushing up these prices as well, sitting underneath. And we had some very good results from both Strategy and Bitmine from their releases pre-market, just before the market. They gave their weekly updates, and they were very bullish indeed. So we got the best performer over the last week is Ethereum up 12%. And I did say yesterday, because it was still in the green for the week, that was boding very well for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we know that they've performed the best out of all the market categories since the beginning of the war, right, with Iran. So looking pretty good there. Ethereum up 8% for the week as well. So Bitcoin, Ethereum looking hot. And why not? Because they've got some key drivers, digital asset treasuries, yield, preferred stock yield, and of course the ETFs also funneling in. So no doubt about that. That's where most of the money is flowing in through Bitcoin and Ethereum. Looking at the top 100, we've got Rave is still up 3,000%, up 42% today. Blockchain up 260% for the week, or BCAP as it's called. We've got Zcash at number 3 up 47%. WorldCoin up 28%. Now WorldCoin, I believe, has got a unlocking has reduced by half, I think. So I think WorldCoin unlocking by half. That's Sam Altman and Digital ID. Of course, we ate Digital ID, but that's what they're pushing. And that is also happens to be part of Bitmine immersion. They've got a holding through Orbs and Orbs into WorldCoin as well. So we'll keep watching that out. People like centralized stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of criticisms about Sam Altman, and probably a lot of them are justified, but that's where we are. Siren right now, up 28%, is at number 5. So there's a top 5 at the moment. But look at how many we got up for the week that are double digit. Look all the way down here. We got quite a few, all the way down to Pepe that are in double digits. So getting quite a nice little move there. Top 1,000 movers. We got Mizo, Bless, and Checkmate. They're all up hundreds of percent. And then we've got trending overall. We got Rave Down, Pudgy Penguins, and Bless. Those are trending overall on the crypto there. So a nice day in the office for crypto overall, up 4%. Let's zoom in though on Bitcoin before we do. We got Sean in the house there, up only indeed, Sean. And BitFitness is in the house, says we had all the bad news, now we float up. I like that, BitFitness. Look, I think it's going to be hyper aggressive. So we're going to talk about that. Now we got Bitcoin obviously moving here. I've got the hourly chart because I just wanted to show the animation here. Isn't that awesome? So the last couple of hours, we got some pretty good news, and we got this big rise here about 5 hours ago. But look, we really bounced real nice up here on the 200 hourly moving average, and up we went. What a nice move that has been, right? So if we take the little measuring ruler, I don't know, let's measure it from about here at 70,700. We've gone up at least 6%. That's $4,250. Not bad. 30 hours. As you guys know, just think about this ruler is that, the top 20, 30 days is where you either make the most money or lose the most money every year in crypto. And this looks a decent day in the office there as well on the hourly. So pretty cool stuff. Look exciting stuff here. I mean, look, we got a peak hour not long ago. We got up to almost $75,000. Isn't that fantastic? Let's go to the 4 hour, the trader's view, and zoom on this a little bit more. We got obviously the 4 hour there moving up real nice, right? Real nice there on the 4 hour. And we're at 74,000. That's just a great move there on the 4 hour there. Look at that, bouncing off the 50 moving average for 4 hour. Isn't that great? And we got a bullish cross too. Bullish cross there. Look at that. Woohoo. So game on here for the old Bitcoin. Let's look at the daily though. Take even a longer term view. Bouncing off the 50. The 50 is at 71,000. And we're starting to curl up too. So the cool thing about this, if we keep curling up, we cross over the 200, which is currently at $83,200. So there's about, about $12,000 difference. We have got a golden cross, right? We've been in this death cross all the way since 16th of November. And that was after the big liquidation event on the 10th of October, which is way back here, this one here, and off the all-time high, right? So just after the all-time high on the 6th there of October, then the liquidation vet a few days later. So we got to 126, and here we are at 74,500 almost. So looking really good, isn't it? I hope you guys are excited. Should be. This is fantastic news. We had pretty much over about our 52% pullback. Why not the 70%? Well, the power law kind of indicated that we could get to 53K. We hit the 60K at the bottom, which is kind of the bottom of the range, and didn't hit the power law floor, 53K. And that's because I think we've got institutional buying coming in from ETFs and from the digital asset treasuries, particularly strategy and Bitmine immersion, right? So this is pretty exciting here. Bitmine immersion doing very well. I just want you to take a moment when we get up to talk about Michael Saylor, just how game-changing this is. It is unbelievably a game changer, and we're going to talk about that as well. John says, pump it up, super. Absolutely pump it up. This is going to be a very big, exciting show today because it's just mind-blowing what we're getting. Craig Pitts in the house. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Big shout-out. And he's giving a big shout-out to Sean as well. Yeah, up only from Sean. All right, so let's get into it. So here we are at 74,500, bouncing off the 50-day at 71,000. So we've got 3,500 clear. And, we've got a good target there for the 200 at 83,000, looking pretty good there. We've got to get over, obviously, our previous high back here on the 18th of 76, but I think that's not going to be a problem, and it's game on from here. So let's zoom into some of the fundamentals here with Michael Saylor. Now, Michael Saylor, of course, strategy. These guys are doing absolutely amazing. I just can't believe it. It is so insane. But we've got 1.1 million in daily trading volume. That's unbelievable, right? So we just had Let's go back a little bit. We're probably rushing a little bit here, so let's go back and slow down a little bit. I know you guys are watching, you're trying to speed things up, but we're going to slow down. I'm just kidding. We're going to slow down though. And we had this 14 hours ago, right? Strategy has acquired 13,927 Bitcoin for $1 billion at 71,900. It is huge. So I don't know. People have different numbers for how much Bitcoin's actively moving around at the moment. Some have 500,000. Some people have 1 million. So let's just say it's somewhere in that vicinity. Well, look at this. It's almost 14,000 Bitcoin sold in a week, which is pretty crazy. But guess what? It got crazier today because the day just closed. This was for last week, 14,000 Bitcoin. It was from the new Stretch product. So it's basically money from the debt markets and buy Stretch. They raise more money and they buy Bitcoin virtually automatically. And then, of course, they have their MSDR, their common stock, which they would have been dilutive, and they have not raised any MSDR. So this is free Bitcoin going in the MSDR common stock, just lifting the value of the common stock there and the Bitcoin holdings. It's a genius play, and it's getting insane. Now, how insane? Well, today they raised, I think, something like 9,600 Bitcoin in just one day. This was a week, 14,000. It was a master move. 14,000 is like dreamy. And then just today, they raised another 9,600 in a day. It is insanity, guys, insanity. So we got talking about tens and tens of thousands of Bitcoin acquired through this new Stretch Deck yield product, offering 11.5% yield at the moment, smashing the money market. Then the debt markets were only offering 2 to 4%. It is insane, guys. And so this is a vampire attack of massive proportions. It is pumping up Bitcoin and providing huge structural support. In addition to this, we have the ETFs as well, just moved, I think, in the last day or two to a net positive buy for year to date. So year to date, ETFs are now in net buying position, and that's going to manifestly increase moving forward, given the momentum and the direction where we're heading. But they're going to have to pay higher prices if Strategy keeps buying up all this money at the moment. Now I'm going to try and bring up the Strategy the purchases today because I was supposed to bring it up anyway, and I've forgotten to do it. So we're going to bring that up. Let me just pick up the website here, and let's drop this in and go for gold on this one because this news is too damn good. It's too damn good, right? So let's get into Strategy. So that was last week. That was 14,000 Bitcoin. This week, just today, not even a week, but just today, 9,400 Bitcoin, $680 million at the market proceeds. Unbelievable. They had a total volume of 1.1 million. That, first of all, think about that. This is possibly just the beginning. So 1.1 billion in a day, and 680 million of that was proceeds. So 60% capture of the volume because the Stretch price was over $100, I should say. And it's still sitting at par at $100.01. So it's still sitting ready to print again, I guess, for tomorrow. Now it is going ex-dividend. I think we've got one more day up our sleeve, so we might get another big print tonight on the 14th, and then I think it goes ex-dividend record date on the 15th. So I think we've still got a Tuesday to raise a Bitcoin. What will that have? Will that do over 10,000? Probably, and it's insane, right? Insane. So, and that's at higher prices too, So keep a lookout for tomorrow on the 14th, and then we've got record date on the 15th. What we will then see is that we will see a sell-off, no doubt, although it's pretty bullish at the moment, so we might have a little bit of difference, and this might go down to $99.50 and then climb back up real quick. And then if it prints on the momentum that we've seen so far, even at higher Bitcoin prices, oh my goodness, we could see some unbelievable things happening here. Remember that the interest rate differential is sucking capital in. It's gaining momentum. We're in the second month now where it's really starting to take off. And you're targeting the money market, bond markets worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. So it's even a fraction of that coming in is a massive pump for Bitcoin. So hopefully, if you're not familiar with all this information, hopefully that is opening your eyes to exactly what's happening. We're at a pivot point of a magnificent magnitude. It's truly is incredible. It's the iPhone moment we are witnessing in real time, and you guys are all here to experience it. It is financial history in the making of all time, of all history. Forget the Greeks, Forget the Persians. It's on. It's on. Macedonians. It doesn't matter. The sea people. Forget the sea people. It's all happening, guys. All happening. All right. It's game on. All right. So you can see the numbers are huge. And if we have a look at last week's numbers, that's where we got that report from Michael Saylor, where we've got, it's slightly higher than these numbers. These numbers don't always render properly, but massive numbers, over 10,000. The previous week itself was 4,600. So you can see the huge numbers that are coming in, right? Huge numbers. And if we look at last month, which I think is the 13th here, you can see that we had 16,600 come through on that week in the whole 5 days, but we're about to get, I think, this even Monday, Tuesday this week. I'm pretty sure tomorrow is another open day, and then record day is the 15th, that we could see this do what happened in five days last month, happen in 2 days, in addition to what we got last week, which was just massive, that 9,000 or so, 14,000 that we got. So pretty huge. All right, so that's some big stuff happening there, and it's exciting, guys. It's exciting. Now let's jump back out of here, and we got a bit more from Michael Saylor. Did obviously had a big show on Bankless. Let me just scroll up through here though, and he was talking about today's turnover that we got 14,000. It's insane, guys. Think about that. If we've got like 500,000 actively trading, if we've got 1 million actively trading Bitcoin. And he starts buying, in a day he's buying 10,000. Let's assume that keeps momentum going, and you're turning over $1 billion of volume a day in stretch. Let's say it's a huge 10,000. I mean, it's going to eat up all the Bitcoin, guys. So that's why I've said in the title of the video, this strategy buying all the Bitcoin. It certainly looks like that. But hey, look, the ETFs are there too. They're trying to buy up Bitcoin too, so they're starting to accumulate as well. So now we've got two big buying engines coming in with from the debt markets and the equity markets, trying to buy up all the Bitcoin. Just take a moment to just think about this. This is absolutely incredible. Are there risks out there? There are a few risks, but the upside potential, the momentum, the vampire attack is just so much greater. It is insane, guys. It is insane. So here we are with 1.15 billion liquidity, 1 penny of volatility, closed at par. He's talking about the what we just looked at overnight for stretch issuance, and they're not having to issue MSDR common stock, which there's no dilution, etc. It's just accretive. The debt market is funding all the Bitcoin purchases for the common stock MSDR, and the more and more that happens, the more valuable MSDR is going to become. Right, the MNAV, I think they've got about $8 billion of debt. All that stuff's going to start washing away, right? Become insignificant. Adam Livingston, he's a big commentator on the strategy. MSDR says take a bow to domination, and that's exactly right. In fact, if anything, that's a gross understatement of what's happening here. Pretty awesome stuff. Strategy itself says record day for stretch, $1.1 billion daily traded volume, 46.5% from the previous high. What an astounding result. Absolutely astounding result. This is game changing. More pressure on the ETFs, more pressure on BlackRock and Morgan Stanley, everything else in terms of getting their clients to say, hey, this Bitcoin's starting to pull up, man. Strategy's on the thing. They're buying all the Bitcoin. You got to get in now. You got to put some risk capital in. This is all self-fulfilling, right? All self-fulfilling. And they've got thousands, tens of thousands of advisors doing that for different categories of clients, from wealth clients to managed funds, etc. It is game on, guys. It is game on. So you can see the dance party already going. Alex puts us out with the old Michael Saylor dance there, 21 million. Now, this is the demand side. The demand side is looking absolutely ruthless to the upside. And that's probably why we're only going to get that 52% drawdown. And the upside is just looking so dominant right now. And it's just the iPhone moment is in play. Second month results are astounding. So imagine if we had 1 million Bitcoin trading. If we're doing 45 to 50,000 Bitcoin alone through strategies, stretch product a month, you can see it's just a game changer, and it moves. That strategy will probably go from 780,000 Bitcoin. We're actually just close to 790,000 now after last night. that they will get to that 1 million Bitcoin probably by September or something like that. It's going to be pretty quick. The other thing, of course, is that the BlackRock ETF was sitting at 788,000 Bitcoin. Well, technically, obviously not adjusting for any purchases they may have made overnight, that would mean that the strategy has now just bypassed them, right? With last week's update plus last night's stretch activity, that would put strategy just ahead of the IBIT as well. So that's all going to be laid out. But that is pretty exciting too overnight, subject to, unless IBIT bought a lot more Bitcoin themselves, which I haven't checked. So, but that could feasibly be the position that they're in now, making strategy even the biggest. So, pretty awesome stuff, guys. So if you add those two up, of course, you're well in the volumes, right? So you're about 1.5 million Bitcoin amongst those two entities themselves. Pretty crazy. What does that leave for the White House and the U.S. government if they decide to start accumulating Bitcoin? Well, decisions need to be made, right? Decisions need to be made. All right, so pretty cool stuff happening there. Let's move on. This is such a big deal, so I've spent a bit of time on it tonight. I believe is still open. So if that's the case, that we could see another 10,000 or more Bitcoin get bought up, maybe even 15,000. Could go insane tonight. So keep a lookout for that, man. This is insane. Can you see it? Insane stuff. There's not enough Bitcoin. At some stage, not too far in the future, prices can only go up, right? It's going to be insane because this is just buying. It's a big whale buyer that's vampiring the debt markets. And it's a win-win because it's a win for the debt markets. They get 11.5% yield. It's a win for Bitcoin because the price just gets pushed to the upside. And everyone else has to compete against this monster of a buyer. And that includes the ETFs, exchange trade funds from all the big banks. And that nothing's fixed. Bitcoin's the only really fixed supply. Everyone's after it. That's the perception as well. It's a game changer. All right, so let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum also is having a great time. And here we are. You can see on the hourly chart here, we've bounced from the 200 hourly moving average all the way up. Look at that beautiful stuff. And we've had a little peak out here a couple of hours back at 2,395. We're currently at 2,376 here, looking very good indeed. Let's go to the 4-hour chart here. Get in the chat there if you're really excited about what's going on, because this is unbelievable. And remember that everybody out there is going to be competing against AI, competing against robotics. The world's going to become a massive structural shift, and a lot of people are going to be clamoring for wages. It's going to be very difficult. And so, look, it's going to be, being in crypto is going to be your lifesaver. It's going to be your lifesaver. It's going to be the magic money. And you guys are here at the right time in the right place. You just have to make sure that you're holding the quality bags, right? And so just take note of all that. It is takeoff time. All right, so we're here at $2,375. On the 4-hour there, we've bounced off the 50 moving average, and that is currently starting to head up there. We're currently at $2,200 on the 50-day, so we're well above that point of support, and also above the 200 4-hour moving average at 2,139. We've also got a bullish cross in play. That is going very well. Let's go to the daily, even broaden out just like we did with Bitcoin. And we can see we're starting to curl up a little bit here. We've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, starting at 8 days above the 50 days. So it's a really nice support. And the 50-day moving average is at 2,177. The 200-day in orange is at 2,665. And we're almost halfway to that. So even better than Bitcoin. And of course, it's performed better than Bitcoin. Best performing commodity, best performing category, Ethereum, since the beginning of the Iran war, right? Followed by Bitcoin. So pretty cool. Pretty good stuff there. And we're on the way up. Now, obviously, we had this death cross all the way back here on the 24th of November, about 8 days after the Bitcoin one. And, of course, we had our high back here of $4,955. 5,000 got rejected. People were expecting altcoin season at 5K, still a reasonable expectation, but going to have to wait for that. And then, of course, we had the 10th of October liquidation event, and down we came. That was a couple of days after Bitcoin hit a 26,000, remember, about 4 days. And down we've come here all the way. Now, obviously, the low is a little different here from top to bottom. We got down 65% compared to Bitcoin's 53%. And now we are only down 52%. So there we go. Nice little recovery there. And from the bottom, we have recovered back up to 35% there as well. So we're back up 35% inside 267 days. So there we go. But we're looking very good, and just looking for a market maker to push us up even higher, and looking good for that. Now let's get into Bitmine immersion. They gave us a big update as well before the markets opened last night, and they had the fact that they had $11.8 billion in total crypto. Now, obviously, that's gone up quite a bit overnight because we were up quite a bit. But at the time of print, they were at 4,874,000 Ethereum. Think about that. Fantastic. They have done that inside a year, guys. It is exciting stuff. So when we come up to approximately June the 28th, July the 1st, that will be 1 year for Bitmine. And so they've still got a few months up their sleeve. Still got 2.5 months up their sleeve approximately to hit 6 million. I don't know if they're going to hit it by then, but certainly I think before the end of the year, similarly to Strategy, they both hit their 5% targets, and that's exciting. Remember, they're targeting 6 million. I think it's about 32 or 34,000 Ethereum there. So 6 million, let's say, just round it. They've still got 1.1 million or so to go. So look out for that. They've got 198 Bitcoin because it used to be a Bitcoin miner, right? Before Tom Lee joined up. $200 million in Beast Industries, and that there is really a piece of the puzzle because they're going to target mass adoption for retail, right? And of course, particularly targeting the Alpha and the Z generations, right? So it's going to play there. $85 million stake in 8Co Holdings. That gives access to Orbs. Orbs, of course, gives access to WorldCoin AI as well, and also OpenAI, right? So some huge things between Digital ID and OpenAI. OpenAI, of course, going to be expected to be one of the top 2 or 3 launches this year, along with SpaceX, right? So look out for those ICOs there. Moonshots, pretty exciting. These are all pieces of the puzzle because it's not just about being a digital asset treasury, number one, with the 5% alchemy. It's actually about taking finance over from TradeFi and pushing it into the blockchain, and then doing institutional and retail mass adoption. So this is the big picture with all the latest technology included of AI and digital, right? So it's very CeFi orientated, not we preferred living in DeFi land because that's true freedom, but this is the way the world works, most of it. So there we go. Total cash on hand, still $720 million. Now, there is a little bit of confusion between stock issuance and things like that because the MNAV is negative for Bitmine. I think it's sitting at about 95, has recovered somewhat, but they'll only raise new capital generally when they are above 1. They've also got stock buybacks as well. Now, remember that they've bought their ETH at different prices, quite lower prices than where we are now. So, there's some things they could do there as well. So there's a little bit of portfolio averaging and jockeying positions around. So we'll keep looking out for that. Now, talking about they've obviously exceeded 4% for the first time ever of Bitmine holdings. So they hold 4% of ETH. Pretty exciting stuff, right? No other DAT owns even close to 4%, and they're the largest holder of ETH in the world. So congrats to the team. Absolutely. There from Bitmine. Weekly ETH buys. So the last 3 weeks, they've done 71,000, essentially calling the bottom, and they've pretty much been right about that in the right range. So 71, 71, 71. That was up from 65 and 60,000 ETH buys a week. So pretty awesome stuff there. So continuing there. They've still got $720 million, remember. The Iran war enters its 7th week, says Tom Lee, and this war remains the most important driver for global markets. ETH is now the best performing asset since the start of the war, with a 17.4% gain. That's even higher now, of course, and outperforming the S&P 500 by 1,830 basis points. And we believe ETH beating gold by 2,747 basis points demonstrate ETH is the wartime store of value. How about that? That's some fighting talk against Michael Saylor and Bitcoin, of course. Ethereum continues to benefit from the dual tailwinds of Wall Street, tokenizing on the blockchain, and agentic AI systems increasingly needing public and neutral blockchains, and of course a public ledger there. The centralized governments, of course, they lie and cheat and steal. I mean, we've seen all that, right? There's so much stuff on that, and they're after power and control. Well, the ledger is really the closest thing to truth, right, on the blockchain. So at least people can trust the blockchain because they can't trust the politicians, right? But so that's kind of a big play there. So pretty awesome. And even Michael Saylor's now talking about tokenization on the blockchain, not being so negative against everything else other than Bitcoin, because he understands that this is happening. And of course, agentic AI systems as well. And of course, we're looking for that AI payment systems as well. Give them a wallet address and it's all game on, right? Now you can see just on this chart, it's a little blurry, but you got Ethereum there up at number 1 and then Bitcoin number 2 out of all these other asset classes here. And that's pretty awesome. Funny enough, silver is down the most actually on here compared to where it was at the beginning of the war. So that is the mark there, a bit of rotation as well. We've got, as of the 12th of April, Bitmine total staked ETH stands at 3,334,000. That's about 7.4 billion at the time of writing at 2,200. Obviously, we're getting pretty close to 2,400 right now. And of course, the ETH staked is now at that amount, 3.3, and it's pretty similar to the week before, but a big jump from the 29th of March there at 3.1 million. Now, what are they going to do with the rest of the ETH stake that they have? Because it's staked about 2/3. We might see them stake more. We may see them hold some of the ETH, potentially for sellability in the future. It gives them optionality. They could do that to buy back their stocks, for example. Remember, they just passed that new rule to 4 billion, but we'll see. It's still early days for all that sort of stuff, and they've got a big picture playing out. So keep looking out for that. They may end up going to fully staked or at least close to it, maybe 90%. We'll see how that goes. There's a portion of the 4.5 billion ETH held, while it's actually close that we saw over 4.8. Now, someone needs in their little slide thing needs to actually check that their slides are all updated. This is a bit poor, if you ask me. Tom Lee letting this go through with this not updated to 4.8 million ETH, right? So someone not checking their copy and pasting, right? Now, that's kind of the play right now. Now, if they were to stake everything, they're currently earning about 384 million when they get to their full 6 million ETH. At the moment, if they staked all their ETH that they've got 3.8 million, that would be about 310 million a year. Obviously, that's gone up already overnight since ETH is up another $200, and so on. So there we go. It's going to be a cash cow and a very valuable company just on that alone, let alone the big finance play that they're doing. BMR, they're also still doing pretty good volumes. The volumes have definitely dropped off. They're sitting around $1 billion. This is 747 million here, 5-day average. Now, they see another slide mistake here. Kind of a big mistake with billions and millions. So there we go. That's ranking them at 117 there. So some pretty awesome stuff there from Bitmine Immersion, the top Ethereum digital asset treasury. And just like Michael Saylor is vampiring the debt markets, they are vampiring the finance sector, right? So which includes the equity markets there. So some pretty awesome stuff. Now, we had a couple other things as well from Tom Lee. He's been putting out a few videos in the last day, and he's got here talking about the US block of Iran is officially underway. He's got a big 20-minute video there. We're not going to watch that at the moment, but 15 warships, all rising, no deal. Well, the deal is looking like it is proceeding since that update. Let's see here. Mike Alfred says, my homie Fundstrat says ETH is the best performing asset. It is also outperforming gold as well. Do not fade Tom Lee. Absolutely. He gets his haters. Of course, he gets his haters. So that is the market there. Says Tom Lee, the market is already looking past the war. Let's quickly listen to this. It's about 4 minutes long. So hope you guys enjoy this part here. It'll be covering the stock market a little bit too.
They will say the ever bullish Tom Lee was ever bullish, but you were also right. I mean, is there anything that is going to stop stocks right now, Tom? Because they just keep going up.
Hi, Brian. How are you? Well, I think stocks are holding up because the economy's actually doing better in the face of this war. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but part of it is the defense spending, at $30 billion a month, and it may end up being, $60 billion a month. That's actually quite stimulative to the economy. This $20 rise in oil is only adding about $12 billion a month to the household burden. So on sort of net basis, the war is actually helping earnings right now.
Yeah, and it's hard to admit this because I do know that gasoline prices for a lot of families out there are a major cost, especially with all the other inflation in the last 5 years. But with car mileage per gallon up, if you do the math, you're looking at maybe $50 to $100 per family per month in extra cost right now. Again, it's not insignificant. I want to be mindful of that. But it sounds like you're saying that is not enough to damage the economy and thus damage corporate earnings and the markets.
That's right, Brian. I mean, nobody wants the U.S. to be at war.
No.
And of course, we're caught in a fog of war. I do think one of the things we have to remember, even like going back to World War II, the stock market bottomed in May 1942, 5 months after the U.S. entered the war, but before any U.S. troops were even on the ground, either in the Pacific or in Europe. So the market does have a really good way of sort of discounting outcomes. And I think the reason it's going up is I think we're going to end up with a favorable outcome, which I can't say I know why, but that's what it looks like.
Well, and things could change, and I want to get your take on that, because let's pray for peace and hope that things tone down. We did have a power poll. I wanted to hear from our viewers and all of our ex-followers and whatever about how they feel. And we asked a very simple question, Tom. It was, what matters most for the markets right now? Is it the Iran war? Is it corporate earnings, which are starting to roll out? Or is it interest rates? People can vote now by clicking on the QR code. How would Tom Lee vote on that?
Well, I would say that of those three, only one can create tail events on both sides, which is the Iran war. So I think that the most important thing to watch and to really be mindful of is the war.
Okay, because are the other ones already known? Earnings for the first quarter won't be that affected because the war began basically at the beginning of March. So we only have 1 of 3 months where you've got some energy disruptions. The second quarter numbers will be slightly different. So with that in mind, how closely are you and your team going to be watching first quarter earnings versus second quarter earnings, which will maybe fully price in much of what we're seeing?
Yeah, Brian, we're going to watch both because, as you know, some groups in the S&P are going to be affected immediately by higher transport costs or availability of commodities. And so we're going to get a pretty good picture of sort of that disruption that is working its way through. And of course, that gives us a hint to the inflation shock that's coming. But all that being said, as you know, the world and the U.S. has been dealing with a series of shocks over the last 5 years. So in some ways, I'm not saying the market's becoming desensitized to it, but it's learning to not go into a full-blown panic.
And you still, we're going to wrap it up, Tom. I think you still have your 7,700 price target on the S&P and some individual names. You got the One Oak, Texas Pacific Land, Quanta. Sounds like you're all in on the energy expansion and growth story.
Yes, and I think it's highlighting an important theme over the last few years, which is that every country wants 3 types of security. They want energy security, they want sovereign security, and they want cybersecurity. So I think all of those are going to be good areas for where spending grows, and stocks should do pretty well.
So there we are. That's Tom Lee's latest thoughts on where the markets are at right now. Yeah, so we got some pretty interesting things here. Obviously, I talked about earlier about Iran, suspending uranium enrichment for 5 years. Trump said, no way, 20 years at the minimum there. So that's some of the dialogue that's going on behind the scenes. We talked also about the progress with Iran talks there as well. So that is some of the cool stuff. So at the moment, we got Ethereum. They're looking real good at $2,371. And let's see if we can break up here on the daily here past the previous high that we had on the 16th of March of $2,386 and start reaching for this 200 moving average at $2,666, looking very good indeed. So there we go, guys. That is the markets right now with the stock market up, Bitcoin and Ethereum moving strongly. Very exciting stuff going on there. Sean says Bitcoin and ETH to fly, followed by Pulse Chain season. Absolutely. So that's pretty exciting. So let's just recap quickly just how powerful this moment is, this turning point, the iPhone moment for strategy with the stretch yield product, basically preferred stock there, which is vampiring the debt markets. How can they compete with 2 to 4% yield offering versus the 11.5% offered at the moment by Stretch? It's just unbelievable. The big institutions are obviously starting to come in and going into that. So the vampire debt market is going to be pumping up the Bitcoin market. So hundreds of trillions of dollars of debt market start flowing in, even at a fraction of that to start with, into Bitcoin and pumping Bitcoin. It is awesome stuff, right? So the MSTR stock there, common stock there, getting the benefit of getting free Bitcoin essentially, having to shave off a bit of the expected yield for Bitcoin, but really just a fraction of that. So pretty awesome. So if you think Bitcoin's going to grow by 30 to 40% a year, what they call CAG, then offering 11%, 11.5% is nothing for that. So and then as you compound that over the years, it just becomes even bigger and bigger and bigger value capture from strategy / MSTR common stock point of view. So generational wealth changing here, guys. You guys are all here at the right time, right place. So exciting times indeed. 800 DCS from Marco. Well, obviously 3,800 is the direction we're moving to now. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to go to Pulse Chain. So let's get into that. All right, let's jump into Pulse Chain here. So Pulse Chain, of course, a full system state fork of Ethereum back on the 10th of May 2023. We're now 1,068 days since it launched. It was launched a couple of days later on the 30th of May 2023. Here we are 1,068 days later. Richard Hart is the well-known crypto founder that launched this, following, of course, a super successful launch of Hex, which was one of the top 5 performing coins in 2021 bull market. Here we are. We've got Pulse at the moment, 50787. Coming off the bottom, 4.7% up today. We've got PulseX at the moment at 50593. Still super cheap on PulseX, up 2.91%. And we've got Ink Token there at 36.5 cents, up 3.7%. The buy and burn for PulseX is sitting at 8.84% based on GoPulse numbers, but I believe it's about 9.2% or so on Pulse Chain list numbers. We might need to go and check that again, but that is, I think, where it is. Hex at the moment, 1/1400th of a penny. That's up 7.6%. So Hex on Pulse Chain, or PHEX as we call it, is the best performer. Now the OG Hex, which is EHEX or Hex on Ethereum, that is the one that did, top 5 coins in 2021, doing around about a 10,000x. That is currently super cheap at the moment, right on the bottom. So all that wealth wiped off. It's currently sitting at 0.0065. The ratio between PHEX and EHEX is 1. PHEX will get you 2.18 EHEX. So PHEX, they're the stronger coin at the moment. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is sitting at just over 0.2 of a penny. Let's jump over to the gas prices at the moment on Pulse Chain, 927,000 beats, so about 50% up from what we had on the lows there, around 600,000 beats. We're sitting at 0.3 of a penny rather than 0.2 of a penny, as we saw previously. The validators, we've got 50,463 validators. And of course, we lost a couple of large validators, over 1,000. And now we've got Rack and Michelle with Coin Mafia talking about picking up 1,000 or so, or at least setting up 1,000 or so validators. So we'll look out for that too. That was a pretty neat announcement from him. All right, let's jump over to the bridge. The bridge at the moment, we've wanted to get back over 70 mil. Well, we're nicely, strongly over that now. 71,269,000. Obviously, with ETH and Bitcoin going up as well. We're sitting on about 15.6 million USDC on the old Pulse Chain. 14.4 million DAI. We got 5,700 ETH. We've got 4.4 million USD Tether and 20 wrap Bitcoin over at the moment that have been bridged over through the official bridge. Now, remember the official bridge basically holding all those coins on the Ethereum side and then basically mints out a new contract equivalence on the Pulse Chain side, and that's what we're looking at here. So, it's only as good as the bridge, but the bridge technology seems to be the most battle-hardened and tested one there. So all goes well. Nothing happens to the validators and everything else, all that stuff. But that's kind of where we are right now, so on. So let's jump into the Pulse Chain top performers right now. Well, we got Staked ETH at the top there. It's up 48%. It's got 14K volume over 39K liquidity. Give you a bit of context there. And this has been obviously around for 2 years and 9 months. So there is the weekly candles. So a nice little bounce on the weekly. Let's look at the pulse ratio, though. Let's look at the pulse ratio there on the weekly, and a nice little bounce in the last week on the old Staked ETH. Now we've got Liberty at the moment. It's been around for 10 months. It's up 29% as well. Let's have a look at that. Now, not financial advice. This is just a default view for Dick Screener. Remember, so we're just going through it like we do most days. You need to use your own noggin. You need to do your own due diligence, so to speak. But at the moment, we're bouncing off 3/10. There's the weekly candles bouncing off 3/10 of a penny up to almost 0.5%, 45. What did I say? 3/10, just over 4, almost 0.5%. Let's do it around. That's a bit easier. 45/100 of a penny is the way you might say it. So there we go. That is on that one. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio though for Liberty, and we can see that we're at 580. We're looking actually pretty strong historically on the chart there. And a Liberty there is what is it? Liberty market on Pulse Chain, finance supply 21 million. Holding Liberty supports development and grants access to market and any available awards. Now I haven't really looked at this token. I haven't looked at the website, I don't think, for ages. So, do your own due diligence. We're not advertising it, just going through it. Now, Coin Mafia from Rack and Rochelle. Well, that's doing pretty well. We got $8,000 volume. Volume, 24-hour volume on 168K liquidity on the main peer. Currently sitting at 95 cents. Now, as I understand it, today is the day that the OG list should start getting randomly airdropped. So I don't know if that's still the case. If you guys have a better update than me, but that's what the intention was 3 months ago, that the whitelist, which is about 650 people, would slowly be released randomly. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But certainly up big time today, 23% there right now. That was the intention, right? So at the moment, we got the price moving up very nicely. It got to a low of 25 cents. Can you believe it? And now these are weekly candles. Daily candles. And now it's up over the last week. Look at that, to 94 cents. In fact, it's almost above the first week when it launched. It got to $1.21. So keep a look out there. Some volume definitely coming in there. What else can we say about that? Pulse ratio. Let's go to pulse ratio on Coin Mafia from Rack and Rochelle, the biggest public whale on Pulse Chain. Venture capitalist, of course, got several other businesses, I think, like gun ranges and stuff. We got 122,000 pulse per Mafia. There we go. That's pretty handsome, isn't it? Pretty handsome there. All right, let's go to the next one. SCADA, Nuclear Supply Team, a niche token player on Pulse Chain, but very innovative at the frontier of gamified DeFi, and that's up pretty well, 14% today. It's also tied into ProveX, smart move on that front, tying into ProveX and Peacock seems to have been a pretty successful move for a lot of teams, and that's been pretty exciting. Let's have a quick look at the pulse ratio, and just take note, the liquidity, about 6,000 over 60,000, so 10% volume there on that. We got a nice little move up here to 1/1700th of a penny. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio. We're up at 223, so looking pretty nice there as well with the old ARC. Now, I haven't got the RSI on these ones, so, always good to put the RSI to see whether you're overbought, oversold, that sort of thing. Sparta there, up 14%. It's supposed to be a HEX derivative, but not a lot of HEX in the pool, but it does have apparently assets and other assets in there. That's from Wendy's for Tendies, I think it's a hold HEX OG. We've got Most Wanted, one of our top meme coins at number 7. 13% today. So we're only getting a little bit of a move. Now, you guys know Pulse Chain often is delayed. I think it often finds that's slightly delayed, like half a day and a day behind the rest of the market. So maybe we work tomorrow. We might have even better results. Keep a lookout for that. We're coming off thin liquidity too on the Pulse Chain. It's pretty thin. We've got a lot of idle stable coins sitting on the chain. So we'll see if we get some magic happening. Atropa from James Maria, he's on the move. James Maria likes to take his opportunities. He's up 12.76% right now, and that's on the move along with his teddy bear, right? His teddy bear meme, and that's up 12.6% as well. Let's see here. Let's keep going past there. World's greatest PDI printer from OG WebChef, up 11%. Die Hard there, you mint yourself some die. That's up 10%. That's at number 15. Firewhale happens to be moving up 10% there as well, so he must be around somewhere. And our second biggest DEX, we only got two main DEXs, PulseX and 9mm, and we've got a couple of balancer forks out there, and they're not included in these volumes, but 9mm, they're up 9%. Now, talking about our overall volume, we're sitting at 4.6 million, so that's kind of where we've been during the week recently, I think, about 4.6 million, and in the weekend about 2.3 or so kind of almost double the amount. And the transactions up about 50%. We're at about 336,000 transactions, excluding the balancer forks, which we haven't been following that much. I don't know how much they're doing on those at the moment, but that's out there. So Rhinofy, another innovative team, a bit like Newton Supply and SCADA. Rhinofy out there with their treasury. They're tied into ProveX, Peacock, and recently made a really nice move with True DeFi and True Farm. And so Rhinofy really benefiting big time there, up 8.7%. So big shout out to Derek and the team, doing a good job there. Along in the mix, number 23, number 27, we've got all the hex pairs and from Richard Hart, up about 7%, leading the way for the Richard Hart cause. And then we've got Swarm at number 28, up 6.7%. Helgo, another hex derivative, up 6.7%. Curve, around the property tokenization or something similar like that, is up 5.4%. Saw Sun Mini Meal, the European food giant, offering superfood, low calories, weight loss, and all that sort of stuff. That's up 5.3% at 5 cents, back up there. A dominance from OG Web Chef, up 5%. And we've got Doubt, another meme coin there, up 4.7%. Remember the 5th of September, another OG Web Chef yield product of volume, that's up 4.6%. Then we've got the Ink token in there mixed with SolidX, up 4%. We've got one of our first UFO peers there, but let's jump past that to Pump Tires, number 45, at 3.8%. So these are all starting to move. We'll see if they continue to move kind of in that delayed effect overnight, and we continue that momentum and get some nice moves on the old Pulse chain. GoPulse sitting at 3.4 cents, up 3.6%. We've got, the Pump Tires Die, I believe it is. Yep, up 3% there as well. What else? Another UFO peer in the mix there. Gizmo as well, up at 2.8%. Liquid Loans with the big $52 million / less development costs sitting out there, up 2.6%. 35K liquidity, but they're sitting on tens of millions of dollars, earning sweet money. It just seems crazy, doesn't it? It always boggles my mind, that the whole logic there. Smorg, number 60, up 2.5%. Pulse Puppy at 61, up 2.2%. Emmett Farm looking real strong. So big shout out to Kairos there. Really, I think overall, if you take all the qualities needed to make something successful, Kairos has got them all. So big shout out there, leading the way in the farm category. We've got a good number of farms on Pulse Chain, particularly offering high yields, particularly Emmett Farm and True Farm. We've got other innovative farms and DeFi ecosystems out there, like Nexion and Function Island and many others like that. So big shout out there. So $1.25 right now, looking pretty good. Let's look at the pulse ratio on the old Emmets, looking real strong. Look at that, 158. So another strong pulse chart there as well. So kind of cool. High yields on Emmett Farm, guys. So if you're after high DeFi yield, Emmett Farm, True Farms are two good farms to go check them out. Nexion, I think, is also gaining some momentum as well. So it might be something you want to check out. Some of their products, very innovative team. All right, Top Hat right now, up 1.6% for Crypto Coffee. Got a lot of capital tied into Peacock. I'm not sure, did they set up something for ProveX? Let's quickly have a nosy, shall we? This is from Crypto Coffee, largest pulse chain influence out there. Let's have a quick look at, let's see if it's got any, we've got Peacock up there. Look at that, Peacock 170K, massively tied into Peacock. Just wonder whether they had a ProveX peer. I don't see one off the top there. But maybe there's one floating around. Oh, I lost that there. But no, it doesn't look like they're at straight off the bat. What happened there? We lost our way. All right, so let me keep scrolling down here. We're going down to the top 100. Where are we coming up here? We're going to ignore a few of these, 1% up on these. True Farm there, sitting at 80 cents, up just under 1%. Vouch at the moment at 401,000. That's up 0.8% there. And then we've got PGC the Grey. So we've got some heavyweights down here. Look at us, number 67 all the way through to 72. All these heavyweights, PGC, Vouch, and True Farm. I have Vouch and PGC in top tier blue chips. I have True Farm in the second tier where all the farms are that have the farms. It's sometimes debatable where you can have them. That's kind of my perspective on it. But these are kind of the top tiers in the tier 2. Pretty awesome stuff there. Unity right now up a little slightly as well from Cryptographics. Pretty innovative protocol there. I still think we're waiting for collaborative staking. Not think that's actually hit the market yet. That's up as well. I need to double check that though. Peacock, obviously the Kraken, the dynamic blue chip on Pulse Chain. They have delayed their updates for the launch of the Big S product. But we're going to go check them out now anyway, because they are a juggernaut on their pulse chain, down 1% today. Where are we going on the poll there? So let's jump into there, have a look, and we're going to look at the ratio there. So this is the chart. They're doing a lot of buying support for the chart there as well. Recently, we got to just over 1,400 a penny, just under 1,400 a penny right now. Sitting on the daily, we're above the 21. Very important. We're above the 21 moving average. So still looking very strong, ready for a move. I just think it's ready to pounce, and we'll keep a lookout for that. Let's look at the pulse ratio. Pulse ratio at the moment is sitting at 1,750 pulse per peacock. Recently, we're up around 1,860. The all-time high is around about 2,030 way back here. But this is sitting real nice too, above the 21 moving average as well. RSI pretty chilled down at 53 US dollar. Where's the RSI? Chill at 50. So looking good for a big move. Let's go check out where these guys are at right now, and see how they're going. So they got obviously a delay. I think we talked about that. So let's quickly go to it. Over the last wee while. So I'm going to scroll down here and see what the last updates were. I think we have a big post down here somewhere. Yeah, we're going to move down further than that. Further than today's updates, let's go down, have a look at some of these. We've got a couple of people in the chat there. I'll get to those comments. Let's see here. They had a bit of a banter about one of the exploits. Yeah, here it is here. We're going to start here, guys. Let's see who we got in the chat there. We got Baseline says Bridge TVL higher than PLS market. Bullish says Baseline. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good observation there. Frank White as well. Bang, bang, late gang. Good to see you, Frank White. Welcome to the chat. All right, so they gave us an update yesterday. They said we've delayed the release of the S product until Wednesday, the 15th of April, tax day. Now, we've been talking about that on this channel. And so, yeah, audits of the security of the dependencies we're using. So that's great. More security stuff. Now, obviously, we're expecting potentially a little bit of sell-off. Could potentially happen, for tax days. So even though we haven't got a rally on at the moment, maybe Tuesday's good. Maybe Wednesday's a sell-off. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Tuesday's a little bit of a breather. And then maybe we start rallying Thursday. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Doesn't necessarily have to repeat. But in history rhymes. And people like to take profits and do all the rest of it. To support the market, we've purchased 7,000 of Peacock, so they're obviously still buying there as well. Now, I wanted to get up to today's updates. So we're going to go past all the commentary on this big hack that happened on some Hyperliquid bridge. Hyperbridge, I should say. Now release the wallet and open source ZKX wallet this April. Obviously, that's one of their big launches coming up for this month. Now, this is getting up to today. They says, good morning, my friends. Back to work. The team has made great progress, and this April must be huge with at least 3 new products that could massively improve Pulse Chain. So I've talked about, SDK API being a big launch. Well, they got 3 more apparently this month. So it's like kind of 1 more than what I've been talking about. So that's exciting. So 3 big launches still to come this month from the looks of it. Assuming I'm interpreting that correctly. Kind of cool. Let's scroll a bit further up here as well. What I got here? Pulse Chain's more isolated, low dependency design has demonstrated practical value in reducing and limiting potential attack vectors, obviously after a few attacks. In contrast, many DeFi protocols rely on many highly connected systems. So, LibbySwap's, keeping mindful about all that. We're going to talk about Mo Mindset, I should say, in his radio interview when we get to the monster thread. Let's see here. Let's scroll back up here. So yeah, it looks like this is what we got coming. So we're at the S protocol. Everyone's wondering what that means. Well, they've teased about stablecoins, something stable, something like that, and those sort of riddles. So people obviously were expecting a yield product, right? Well, they've already got here that they're going to have the ZKX wallet and our conservative safe yield protocol. Now, these are huge things, right? These are huge things that are coming to launch from this ecosystem. So this April is definitely going to be exciting. This is a big deal, and looks like sentiment in the market's moving in their favor. So you're going to have that wins behind the sale. So yeah, everyone's trying to find out what this all means, and we're going to get the S protocol, I believe, on the Wednesday. So it's all going to start to flow. They're wanting to multiply the total amount of funds flowing through, and that, of course, capital flows are king, right? So we're looking forward to that. So big deal coming here from LibbySwap. What else? I think that was it. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That gets us to the chart looking really good for a big move potentially and hopefully, market follows those three big protocol launches and re-rates the whole of Peacock. The other thing, of course, is that we know that they've got all the documents in for CoinMarketCap, still waiting for that to be a big mover as well, particularly for Peacock. So could get some big re-rating. Let's see what happens going forward. It is the one of the few, we've got probably about 15 blue chips on Pulse Chain in my view, and we only have a couple of those 15 are actually dynamic, what I call projects that can re-rate in value in the short term, not needing to wait for Pulse to rally. And Peacock and Liberty Swap is obviously one of the 2 or 3 that are out there at the moment that can do that. Single side staking, possibly. We'll see. They got the yield one as well. They're definitely trying to get yield products to start coming, trying to increase the volume coming to scale it up, and obviously possibly something around supporting either a stable coin or making something more stable. That's kind of all the blue clues I've seen so far, and I've looked at a lot of the angles, so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully not PDI. I don't think it's PDI. Although PDI is an important volume for them. PDI is one of the titans. We've got about 7, maybe 8 tokens that do over 100 million at the moment. Sorry, $100,000, I should say, a day. And so it's definitely important from that point of view in terms of fees and things. So that's kind of it at the moment. We got Sava reward token there, down 1%. What else we got down here? We got Zero Trust, and Zen, part of the Peacock trifecta or quad trifecta there, down 3%. We got Pepe down 3% right now. ZKP, which is another Kairos protocol, down 4.8% at the moment. Still looking pretty good at 4.5K volume. And then we've got Provex down at the moment, also from Richard Hart. That is down 5.5%, sitting just below 8,000 on that at the moment. So let's have a quick look at that. And we can see that is still sitting on the 21 daily moving average. So still pretty strong there, guys. And also closed yesterday above it. So still looking good for that potential attack on 91 to 93,000. So 40 is 91 to 93,000. So it's still in play on the Fibonacci there. Also matches with the horizontal resistance there is also, and the RSI plenty of room to move on that. So we got momentum too in the markets, so and probably get the delayed effect as well. So we may very well see Provex there move higher overnight. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right, so that is pretty much the markets. We're going to get into the Monster Thread. The Monster Thread is out number 49. Now the Monster Thread, of course, is a publication of the Crypto Night Show. Envious Crypto is the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread. He's also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. Does a great job out there, of course, networking and helping projects, teams be seen. Brand awareness, product awareness is very important. You can build the greatest product in the world. He's out there doing all the good stuff. Now, not only that, but the Monster Thread is really the main newsletter for the Pulse Chain, an independent newsletter, of course, from the Crypto Night Show, and adds a lot of value. 49 weeks of the hottest news has been showcased. It is a neutral document. In other words, all the items that get in there are all neutral. There's no favorism or anything like that. That's pretty much it. It is a professional publication, so we do have a supportive sponsored post in there. But apart from that, it is essentially covering all the news. So let's get into it. We got Pulse Chain Weekly Monster Thread number 49. 49 weeks. We're only 3 more weeks away from 1 year of the publication. It's so exciting, guys. Richard's message, Liberty, Big S-Bound, El Salvador Reality Show. We've had a great week. This has been truly a great week. What a great edition of the Monster Thread. And we're going to get into all of that. Shout out to Emmett Farm and True Farm for providing constant and stable farming options. Obviously, they're doing amazing there. Richard's message, Richard reaches out to the Pulse Chain community seeking international connections. So that was something that Richard put out. We're going to have a quick look at that. He says, I know a wealthy and cool person who wants a non-USA political immigration thing. You may know someone with political immigration pull in the country. Mentioned him on Simplex there. So using the privacy methods. Liberty Swap, of course, we talked about that briefly before. It's got their upcoming Big S product. Obviously, they've got the wallet and the yield product coming this month as well. So a massive, massive expansion of Liberty Swap. And Pulse Chain is just lucky to have Liberty Swap building out the frontier of privacy and DeFi trading in Pulse Chain and, of course, multi-chain. Delayed the release till Wednesday. We got El Salvador Reality Show. Now, this was caused quite a stir. It was very organic and very viral. And so Noob Decentral was the one that really kind of, I think, set this up, organized as well. So a big shout out to him. Head to Epic El Salvador Reality Show. So very different, El Salvador. And, of course, reality show there featuring a Wild SJ, obviously one of our most active female influencers out there and the community activities. Positivity Princess, Eco Builder, Woogie Gang was there. We got, I think that might be the wrong one there. Woogie Gang, we got, I think it's the wrong handle. We got Crypto Truth in there, Shane Hart Win there, and Tiger Crypto God as well. So there's a whole crew of people there having a lot of fun and crazy times. So surprise guest just wrapped up after 5 days of competitions and dozens of hours of live streaming. And of course, you got lots of highlights there of all the images. There's so much content, guys. Videos, images, competitions, silliness, craziness, laughter, all of it. It's all there. Surfing, they were doing just about everything there. Pretty amazing. Biggest earners on Pulse Chain, Gains by Design, Neil and Daniel, both from DeFi, True DeFi, along with Executioner there, collaborated. They're doing these wonderful X Spaces at the moment on DeFi, so it's pretty cool. DeFi on Pulse Chain, hearing from a lot of teams, so really good collaborations going on there. They featured founders Kyle from Morbius, so that's doing big gaming, casino, poker games, really great stuff happening from Morbius. We're going to try and cover that more moving forward. Dave as well, there as well from Plus X, and I think that's Validator X and stuff, I think, if I remember rightly. And also Kairos from Ant Farm, of course, and special guest Fat Sammy from PLSB, which we're going to be interviewing tomorrow, guys. So Pulse Bitcoin going to be on tomorrow. We're going to have Fat Sammy on there and a special guest, so stay tuned for that as well. That's all coming up tomorrow's live stream. Tech Store tablets. We've got Best Hawk delivered tablets to Tech Craze as well. Let's have a quick look at that. So there we go. We've got some tablets being pushed out. And of course, this is exciting. So Best Hawk has been giving out lots of tablets to different people. And it looks like he took Tech Repair Store, Tech Craze. He can give them out to his customers. So now we've got a tech store giving out these little iPads for Pulse Chain as well. So lots of innovative ways people are getting Pulse Chain promo tablets out to the community and helping to onboard more people. Kind of cool. Very cool stuff there. All right, so that was pretty cool. Lots of different things happening there. Pulse Chain in Europe, Gabriel attended Liberland in Europe, representing Zero Trust and Pulse Chain. He also landed an interview with Joshua Peters there to talk about sovereignty, Zero Trust, LS Pay, and more. So that was pretty cool in Europe. So just landed and smiling. Very cool stuff happening there. Look at that. So Pulse Chain is getting out and about everywhere, guys, all over the world. So El Salvador, Europe, you name it, America, it's all happening. Pulse Chain name is getting out. The community is working. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Everyone's doing their thing, contributing to Pulse Chain. You can't put the fire out of Liberty. Zero Trust, of course, doing several things. They're in the monster thread several times because they're really doing a lot of work right now. Shared an emotional speech from Gabriel Vladsides at the Liberland, recounting his family's creation of their first Bitcoin miners via Butterfly Labs in 2011. So these guys are true crypto OGs here. And of course, they subsequently got persecuted by the government. So, really a bit of a teary-eyed moment, but just showing, what people were up against in the early days. So pretty awesome stuff there. And you can actually watch a video. I think there's a video on this here where he's giving the speech as well. So, good stuff happening there. And him giving that early OG experience there. So there we go. Go check that out. That was pretty cool. All right, so we got 2 more onboards. We're doing a lot of marketing right now. I mean, think about all the marketing communities doing all around the world right now and showcased here in the Monster Thread. Your friend Somley highlighted the post from Hexcavator onboarding 2 new ladies to Pulse Chain. And of course, you can drop Hexcavator a follow if you haven't already. Big shout out to Hexcavator there. But we've got a bit of a picture of this. Let's go have a look at that. Those 2 of the ladies there getting a Pulse Chain tablet. Very cool indeed. And they look pretty happy about receiving those. All right, so cool stuff there. More people getting tablets. A huge radio show in UK tablets. Mo Mindset has an interview with Radio Sangam that has happened already. 3.4 million listeners. Now, apparently he's going back on again, I believe, talk about Pulse Chain Art. Now, 3.4 million listeners, guys. That is a massive, massive audience. And on radio, people really get engaged, don't they? So what a huge thing for Pulse Chain Art. He also handed our tablet to singer-songwriter and composer Malik Tan and delivered many more to Suzuki Car showroom there. So Mo Mindset, he's obviously a big artist in the Pulse Chain community, but massive, massive audience there. Look at that. So Radio Sangam, 3.4 million listeners, huge exposure there. Very big in terms of contrast. So a whole new audience as well. Very cool stuff there. But I think it's got a few others here. We'll check out those as well. he's got just engaging with lots of singers and songwriters, and another one here as well, handing out more Pulse Chain tablets. So Mo Mindset, big shout out to you, mate. You're doing a great job and crushing it. So, people are out there, man. They're promoting Pulse Chain. We got new Pulse Chain articles there. Pulsecast, also 55,000 followers, released a new article on Pulse Chain. So not only have we got people in the community doing some incredible things, reaching potentially, from tens to millions of people, we've also got big platforms like Blockcast there, broadcasting to big crypto audiences about crypto. And look at this deep dive of Pulse Chain, the ecosystem, giving an overview. What a great way of learning about Pulse Chain there. Very, very cool. So 55,000 followers for that. Now, Crypto Coffee also has 55,000 followers, arguably the number one Pulse Chain influencer. He congratulated the Zero Trust team as well for doing their Helios Pay. So, more love passing through to the old Zero team. And they've, of course, got Helios Pay now as well, with Pulse Chain added along with other top chains as well. So sell anything for crypto, we prove they paid. So more services, features, utilities being offered on Pulse Chain, where you can sell anything for Pulse Chain. How about that? Or for crypto, I should say. Very cool stuff there. So markets are growing for Pulse Chain. All right, so we got ZKX wallet updates. Of course, Lemon Tech shared a post from LibertySwap and highlighted Pulse Chain privacy infrastructure upgrades. ZKX wallet code base already finished and submitted to app stores. We're expecting that to essentially launch by the end of the month. And of course, as I understand it, there's going to be an airdrop for Peacock holders, as we understand it. We don't know what the full tokenomics is, but that could be pretty exciting as well. Very cool. Surely Fortress says stake ETH breakout. Yeah, it's definitely looking good today. All right, so that is kind of cool. Let's have a look at some of the posts there. It's got a big write-up about LibertySwap. It's getting excited for that wallet launch. One of the 3 big products launching this month, in addition to SDK APIs, which were already launched earlier this month. And of course, talking about LibertySwap there with finalizing the ZKX wallet. And it looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. It's going to be pretty cool. All right. Lotus new drip. We got posted a picture wearing a new t-shirt. So we got Lotus here wearing a brand new t-shirt here from Polskin store. I think it's the Polskin store. Very cool shirt there. Look at that. Woohoo. Got the hex in behind as well. She looks very happy about that. All right. Cool stuff. See, the community's everywhere. And we've got cool merch. We got Auto DCA platform 369. That's Extrovert there. Posted a demo of I don't even know how to say this. Quilt, I think it is, an intent-based Auto DCA platform with high frequency execution. So that's another DeFi feature there. 2-minute demo of that. Kind of cool. It's got Pulse Chain, I believe, supporting in there. Yeah, it's got Pulse Chain. Look at that. So new DCA featured there on the site there on Pulse Chain. So if you want a DCA in the Pulse Chain, that's a good tool to get involved. Look at that. Pretty complicated. Simple, but it's got lots of features in it. All right, kind of cool. Making the complicated simple. What do we call that? Simplexity. That's the one. Simplexity. Business marketplace. Will Stevenson shared a marketplace DApp for all Polskins and Xkins wanting to do business with each other. So we've got another marketplace. What's this? Like 2 marketplaces now covered in the old Pulse Chain there. Pretty cool. Your friend Somri covered that. Pulse Chain Marketplace Versal.app. That's the new marketplace. So if you've got things you want to buy and sell, I guess, or services you want to provide, you've got lots of people here offering different services, from real estate to software. They're all in here. Pulse Chain. There we go. Pulse Chain's got its marketplace. So if you didn't know about that, it's in the Monster thread. You can find the link there. All right, what else? We got Morbius token scanner. Now we have got a couple of scanners. One of them is from Morbius and Fire Kyle there. It's got the showcase the new Morbius token scanner. And we also, I think the Zero also has got the new token scanner as well. So we're getting new utility tokens there, being able to analyze new contracts, work out whether they've got any security issues and things like that. So that's kind of cool, making it really automatic rather than having to get some coder look at it for you. It's getting a bit easier. So some pretty cool tools, right? Look at that. Woohoo! So that is from Morbius. So you can go see Kyle. That's all in the Monster thread. More Pulse Chain t-shirts. So if you wanted more, we're getting more here. So this is a new influencer that's popped into space, Sophia, and she's rocking a Pulse Chain t-shirt there. Pretty happy about that. I think she's from the UK. Looking pretty cool. Guess what I received on the post today? I'm now one of the first in the world to own a Pulse Chain tablet. First person to accept Pulse payment, and now I have a wonderful T-shirt. There we go. Enjoying being your mascot, she says. So there we go. Very cool. Got a lot more female influencers in the place. What else there? This is the big finale for the Monster Thread this week. I said it was full of great stuff. We got Maddie Allen, man. Maddie Allen there. My son was born today, and I'm officially a dad. What a dream come true. I love him so much. Isn't that wonderful? So a big shout out to Maddie. What a great thing for him to be now a father as well. And he's contributed so much to the Pulse Chain community. So there we go. Well done to him. Got to be life-changing for sure. Honorable mentions, Crypto Sparbook. He's got a fun video about the hidden 369 code behind Hex and Pulse Chain, so you can go check out that video. $10 Dream has got a cool website tracking his portfolio for Peacock with the $10 Dream. Anyone can put their address in and follow their own experience portfolio with Peacock. We got Zero Coast there, how to buy Pulse with Zelle. Just another way of onboarding the Pulse Chain through Coast. And then we got Illy79 here, or Il Chandro, I guess. Placed PulseX, Hex, and Pulse Chain stickers everywhere. Let's give a look at that. And you can see the stickers popping up everywhere. We got stickers on the southern border of the United States. We saw Triple Dad do that, and now we've got stickers popping up everywhere, everywhere there for Pulse Chain. So there we go. Now we also have some pretty top tier teams in the Monster Thread, and of course we've got Heartwood Dog. They got the biggest comic book in crypto. It really is amazing. Pulse Chain's so lucky to have Heartwood Dog with the anime series. We've got season 2 coming up, which is pretty awesome. Switch, of course, is doing amazing. Switch Don't Swap. Brandon, of course, one of our very popular developers and influencers, has got Switch, and it's really ramping up. Recently, they've added limit orders. We'll talk about that. Emmet Farm, of course, top APR farms on Pulse Chain. We got a 501c, so a non-profit with a hero there with vets and first responders getting allocations every quarter through the DAO. And of course, then we've obviously got a big special post here on the El Salvador reality show, which was absolutely amazing. So you can see the community is really growing. We got new people coming. The community's out there being active, going to conferences and everything else. People are getting merch, and people are having great funds in Pulse Chain reality shows in El Salvador this time. So all over the world, things are pretty crazy, having fun there. So some good stuff happening on the front there. Let's quickly have a look at some of these. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if we've got the links there, but you can find the rest of the links anyway in the Monster Thread to all those different teams. So pretty awesome stuff going on there from the team. All right, so we're going to leave it there. Let's jump over to some of the news we've also got from Alex McFurter. He's doing an amazing job. Now, obviously, he's the founder of what's the tokens? The Hex derivatives, aren't they? I just got a mind block right now. Damn it, I was doing so well up to this point. I got a mind freeze. Anyway, so he's looking at new product launch. So we'll get down to it in a minute. I'm sure it's going to come down. Hopefully he's got it in the chat here. Now he's doing he's got a big update. He says, I've been working in silence for quite a while now. To be honest, I don't really even know where to start. So cue the rambling and ranting. Regardless of which side of the fence you sit on, no one can argue the past few years haven't been politically, economically wild for crypto as a whole. It feels like a never-ending game of tug of war. A lot of X content has become toxic, and so I largely am not interacting these days. But I read a lot of it. I think we like to forget history is a bit of history as a bit in this community. Pulse launched off the highs, and SEC swooped in right afterwards. Very few people want to admit it, but it shook confidence immediately. I mean, no other crypto project has survived such a thing at a time. But PulseX Hex did. However, winning doesn't unshake the confidence in RH during and after the event. Took social precautions to protect himself and his creations. Thing is, the guy isn't stupid. Someone asked me if I thought certain aspects of the launch we rushed because he knew it was coming, and maybe I'd attribute at least a non-zero probability to it. And if that were the case, I'm glad it was rushed. That case may have gone differently otherwise. Now I'm just going to jump through a little bit of this. Let's scroll down to the bottom here. So it's great to see Alex back and talking. There's obviously quite a bit of a piece here. But I believe that he's been working on some stuff, so we're going to try and get to that. So I think he's got his new product, isn't it? Sigma, isn't it? And what I've been building has allowed me to get Sigma to where it is. Sigma is so close, really just in UI mode, performing optimization, going through the nice to haves. I don't believe in launching a non-finished product, but my point of all this and why Sigma question, it's a unifying, anyone can participate. Which tribe you're in doesn't matter. And if you don't like it, don't use it. It's just software. The years of tooling work to deliver. This has been a lot of work for me, a guy in silence. In that time, AI has appeared. My take, every dev should be using it. Given the right direction and context, it will make you better, etc. Anyway, I digress. Testing is soon for Sigma. So there we go. So it's great to see David come out of the woodwork there. Soon more meaning, a feeling of near completion, not always reality. This is how software is. Well, we know that, don't we? We've seen that a lot with software developers and delivery times. I do think Sigma stands to unify the chain and a common goal. So we're looking forward to that. So that's coming down pretty line. Yeah, Hedron was what I was thinking of. Hedron Echoes is the ones that he made, right? Hex derivatives. But others as well. However, that depends on some aspects of Sigma to exist. So it looks like coming down the line. I think we got a little sneak peeks there of the protocol. I thought that would put this video. So Sigma dashboard about lobby index, staking, and governance. So I like the fact that he's heading towards indexes, and this could be really big growth here. This might be something also that True DeFi may look at as well, and maybe some other farms looking at indexing. So that could be very, very cool there. Yeah, slutty protocol, he says, the DTF protocol, perhaps even the sluttiest. So we've got a bit of fun and banter there going through the teams. So kind of cool. That is Alex, and so that could be pretty exciting around the indexing side of things with this product. I'm just trying to see whether I missed anything in here. I think that's it. So kind of cool. All right, so keep a lookout for that. Sigma is coming, and it looks like some indexing features there. Frank White says the weekly thread has been so great, 49 already, so crazy. I know, Frank. It is amazing there. All right, how are we doing for time? An hour and 26 minutes, so it's a good time to finish. So yeah, the monster thread is out, number 49. Don't forget, it's got all the awesome teams in there as well. I didn't go through those today, but you can check those out in the monster thread, as well as the hottest weekly news. Yeah, exciting times. Share it around. It's perfect for onboarding, perfect for people that are busy. You want to catch up with everything that's been happening in Pulse Chain. It is the place to go. And of course, between 35 and 50,000 readers a week, so it's doing really well. We're in bear market conditions. You can imagine when we get in bull mode, all the influencers come out of the woodwork, and no doubt we head up to the hundreds of thousands of viewers on the old Pulse Chain monster thread as well. And it is a great service to the community. So, it's a proud publication from the Crypto Night Show. And, of course, myself and MBS Crypto enjoying doing it. So there we go. All right. I think that's kind of it. Should we finish up? I think we should. If you guys haven't subscribed on YouTube, smash the subscribe button. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, the Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X. If you're also on X, don't forget to smash the follow. Hit the repost button on the daily live shows. Really helps a lot. And pump your own bags, all that good stuff. If you haven't joined our strategy club, the link's in the video description, pinned to the top of X. Go through the Whoop store, just over $1 a day to join up, and you'll get a link to the Discord and get all the hottest intel. As I research and post it, it goes in that strategy club, and tons of information in there, the very best quality. No riff-raff gets in there, and so it's a lot of fun. What else can I say? Wow, we're at a true pivot turning point here, guys. It is exciting. Strategy with stretch product, the iPhone moment. It is tens of thousands of Bitcoin in a day getting bought up. Oh my gosh, it's mind blowing. Like 1,000 a day would be great, right? 1,000 a day would be great, but 10,000. Oh my goodness, what are we going to get tonight? Is there enough Bitcoin? Like I said, I've said this to you that we just hit 20 million Bitcoin. I think we've got by 2032, there's only going to be 330,000 Bitcoin left to come out over the next 110 or so years, 115 years. It's the next 4 to 6 years is on the supply side is just scarcity, and we've got so much buying power coming in, and it's just the beginning. Can you see where the price is going to go? So when you hear Michael Saylor talking about $10 million, $20 million Bitcoin, this is the reason why. It is and we're just at this this really true takeoff time. Not because Bitcoin is up at 70,000, but because the institutions are finally flowing in, and Michael Saylor's managed to find a product like Stretch, and I think there'll be more coming that are vampiring the debt market. The debt market is being revolutionized. It's being transformed. It's being overtaken with this new revolutionary product, the iPhone product here from Stretch, and raising over $1 billion a day just last night. And of course, capturing 60% of that value, buying Bitcoin with it virtually immediately is the way the process works for the ATM markets. And that's just buying such buy pressure support. And then, of course, we've got Bitmine Immersion working on bringing finance over to the blockchain with mass adoption with Mr. Beast Industries, and of course with all the big stock market companies bringing over a lot of the big players from banks, institutions, and maybe even governments in the future. It's pretty exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. What an exciting time. It really blows the mind when you think about it. We really are at a special moment. It is pretty exciting. All right, take care, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll catch you on the next one. And of course, tomorrow we will have Fat Sammy, another Pulse Chain influencer, also, leader of the, I guess, the Pulse Bitcoin Council, along with a special guest, which you're going to see as well tomorrow. And we're going to have some pretty big alpha drops around Pulse Bitcoin. I think Pulse Bitcoin had a big God mode candle yesterday. So we'll get deep dive into a bit of that as well. We love the God mode candles in crypto. So it should be a fun show. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.